Hi y'all, if you like this Rize look from Tokyo Ghoul, stay tuned. Alright, what is up, my people, my sheeple? So, I'm gonna let you know part 2, like where the special effects stuff, like more technical stuff, is at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. But to get there, figured I would film part 1, for lack of a better term. Going in with my primer, putting it kind of just all over my T-zone, and then trusty go-to Misha Cushion Foundation. If you have a yellow undertone like I do, this is a great foundation. If you don't, stay away from it. Otherwise, it pulls very, very, very orange. And then going in with e.l.f. Camo Concealer, just brightening it up. Fun fact, this is my 3rd time recording this voiceover, so I'm hoping this one sticks. Something was going on with my microphone yesterday. So praying to goodness himself that this works out. Anyway, putting that kind of on my cheeks, forehead, underneath my nose, around my smile line, and my chin. Oh, and on top of my nose. And then using a sponge just to blend that out. And adding it on my eyelids rather than primer. Going with my Fenty contour stick. And I am putting this all over my lower jaw to cheek area. This will help create less of a square jaw, because I definitely have more squared out than most anime characters, which is fine, but she's very feminine. So sometimes when I do a feminine character, I like to kind of cast a shadow manually so that it looks a little bit more V-shaped. And then adding it to my nose, blending it out. Now, I used Amber, the shade Amber, which is just light enough to where I can kind of get away with it without it looking super obviously contoured. So, do with that information what you will. I would say if you're a pale girly, this is a good one. Stay away from a bronzer if you can. Otherwise, it'll cast a tan versus a shadow. And then I'm going to put a little side note in here. The importance of knowing how to do the skincare before your makeup is shown right here. You can't see it very well on camera. Maybe you can actually. I don't know. But I had a lot of patchiness on my cheeks because I did not wash my face before this and put on my usual. I use Laneige usually, the moisturizing toner. Just because it's kind of tacky enough, kind of oily enough to where hydrates my skin but doesn't repel the makeup, blah, blah, blah. Instead, I used my morning routine. I just left it on, my daytime routine, which it pills. It works really well for skin barrier repair, but it pills like you wouldn't believe when you put makeup over it or rub your face or anything. I love the product. It's the Centella from Skin 1004 Madagascar or whatever the heck. Only issue, like I said, is not compatible on my skin type with makeup. So maybe it's not the products you're using. Maybe it's what you're putting on underneath it. Maybe they're not compatible with one another. Anyway, went in and baked. And then I am going to do my eyebrows. And then I did buy a new eyeliner palette. And I already had this. I kind of forgot. So I've used it before. And I know it works really well to coat each hair, especially if you're using it in your eyebrows. Like, I don't need to prep my eyebrow or block it out or try to neutralize like the pigments that are already there from my hairs and my tattoo. Like, I know this stuff will go on and cover it. So definitely like that a lot. So I'm going to do a straighter eyebrow today and extend it out just a little bit to create more of a mature, sultry shape, if you will. In the front, I do like to create little finite strokes. And then going in with a black eyeliner on a brush. And just focusing that more on the tails of my eyebrows. And whatever product's left over, I drag to the front just to create that more gradient. More of a gradient. Talking is hard when you're watching and trying to explain. Going in with concealer, I'm going to carve out my eyebrows because I believe in the way of the 2016s. At least for costume makeup, I do. And then when I conceal my top half of my eyebrow, I do kind of go over my arch to create more of a straighter eyebrow. Now, if you have hairs there, you can just brush them down with the gel probably and get away with it. However, I can just kind of go over it with a concealer brush and it works out usually. And then wherever I had little mistakes or I thought I had too much black or whatever, I went in with my purple eyeliner again and just kind of cleaned it up. Going in with a pressed powder and putting that on my lid. This is just the Maybelline Fit Me powder, I think. I literally could have just used my loose powder on a puff, but forgot to. And then going in and creating a cutesy wing. This is what I call a cutesy wing, where it kind of flicks up. It's kind of small. It's a little bit more feminine versus like edgy. And then I also extend that out further than I usually would. Because I am going to put on false eyelashes, I do take it all the way to my inner corner. Wiping away my bake. Attempting to put on blush, however, I need to remember to put on a cream blush before I bake my face, only because it never, when I put on powder over my bake, because I let it sit so long and I like make my makeup bulletproof, I have to scrub a brush on in order to get a whisper of pigment. Sorry, I'm ranting because I'm frustrated. Going in with a very, very light contour palette and just going over where we created that new shadow. And I do just drag all the fan brush. I do drag the fan brush just over it. And then going in with the NYX palette, I do a little bit more concentrated placement just to chisel out my features. So instead of making it like wide, I'll make it skinny, the brush. I don't know how to explain this. Like, you saw what I meant. And there's the patchiness. Again, you can't really tell on camera, which is nice, but I definitely could see it. Going with a smaller brush to create a shadow in my eyes and around my nose, then putting on my false eyelashes. Going in with highlighter because I usually forget. I put it on the button of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and then I round it out to the sides of my nose on the end, just because then when somebody looks at you, it's a little bit more, I'll say realistic. Maybe not natural, but realistic. Going into my forehead, taking a breath. Doing my bottom mascara. Went and put on this wig. I hate wigs that have bangs so much. I can't. They get in my eyes. They make my eyes water. They annoy the ever-loving schnot out of me. So, away they go. This is what I would consider more like part 2, right around here. See, right there. And I did have bumps because I was taking pictures of like innocent, quote-unquote, Rize. I had bumps on my nose from my glasses, so I took a little bit of a more creamy versus liquidy concealer and just placed it on, tapped it on with a brush, and it was fine. So going in with these more muddy, like mushroom colors, I'll say like grays and dusty roses and a little bit of brown, and I'm going in under my eye to create not an eye bag, what am I thinking of? Like a dark circle, there we go, hi. kept on applying that until I got my desired effect. Now again, because I bake, pigment doesn't really like to take. So I had to kind of scrub it on. You can see it's done its effect, and I took it up into my crease, just what was left over on the brush, going in with a water activated or liquid activated eyeliner. I use my Fix It Plus so it stays put and it's a little bit more workable. I think I watered it down too much, or I used the wrong brush or something, because usually I don't struggle this much with graphic liners. So hey, everybody has those days. And I'm creating this so just, I don't even know what to call it. It's not like e-girl makeup, but it was reminiscent of that, I guess, in my mind. Just because I don't do sclera contacts, so like if I went to a convention doing Rize, this is what I would do to pay homage to her demon look. Not demon, oh my gosh, I always want to say that. Ghoul. Her ghoul look. I would probably wear red contacts in my eyes and then do this on my eyelids. So I do alternate between the brush and potted eyeliner versus a pen eyeliner. I know to create the shape, it's easier for me personally to use a brush and then to fill it in and refine it with a pen, which is what you see me doing. Fun fact, the first time I ever cosplayed, I did something very similar to this eye look, except not quite this excessive. My first cosplay was like a Kate version of Sukuna, and it was at the Detroit anime convention called YumaCon. This was during COVID. God, that would have been 2021 maybe? I don't even remember now. No, it was 2022. I think it was 2022. Big eyeliner, and then it had a little flick that led to my crease, but I didn't take it into my crease like I did here. But just a little reminiscent of that. A little bittersweet. When you think about it, that's where it all started. It all started to go downhill from there. Any mistakes that I made, I go in with a Q-tip. It's a pointed Q-tip. It's a makeup Q-tip. So it's very easy to just go in and kind of wipe away mistakes. Just fine-tuning and refining anything that I really wanted to, I guess, at this point. Going with concealer, and I'm going to go around my eyeliner just to create so I used a brighter concealer to create a higher contrast. So light versus dark versus like medium brown versus dark. Concealer pretty much anywhere that I wanted to create a higher point of contrast, so tracing kind of all around the eyeliner. And wherever like the concealer puddles, I just wipe it away from the eyeliner with my finger. Usually works every time. I've never really had an issue as far as that goes, so there's my tip of the day. Using a reference photo, I am drawing the veins that she gets when she grafts or whatever you want to call them. I think of them as veins, so that's what I'm going to call them, or refer to them as. And I am aware that she gets them on top, however, I have hooded eyes, so it would not translate well, in my opinion, on me. You do what makes you happy, obviously, but for myself, I wanted to do something a little bit more like this. So I only did the bottom veins, just kind of randomly drawing them. And then taking fake blood, I'm using the same brush that I've been using, just wiping it on a makeup wipe. And that's how I created my little drippies. I just place it on and I wait for the liquid to kind of, not coagulate, but to literally just drip. I guess it's the opposite of coagulating. Anyway, so hold it like that, perpendicular, and then let it drip. Going with black honey. Filling in any gaps that I noticed. And final touch is putting on gel liner in my waterline, which I hate doing so much, by the way. And then I was so thrilled with how it turned out. I was quite happy. I did smudge my blood a little bit, but big whoop. Looks a little bit more authentic that way then. So these are the unedited photos per usual. Definitely was feeling it, definitely was happy. So if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want, check me out on Instagram and TikTok at Kate_escapism. I post edited and final drafts. So thank you so much. You have a great day. Bye.